Hi everybody! First of all, thank you so much for being here with me, for tuning into my channel, for trusting me with your private readings. This is only the beginning of such a long journey, but it has been so fun already. I want to thank you guys for your patience this month with me being on vacation and that energy that Cancer season brought. Healers need healing too, and I've had to take some time to focus on myself and the things that are changing in my life as well as my private clients. So thank you guys for your patience with me getting these readings out. I promise that August will be a lot smoother. With that being said, I also have a new service that I'm offering. It's not on my site yet, so you're going to have to email me if you are interested in this. All that information to contact me for readings is below, so check the description box, okay? Please don't email me on Facebook or message me on Facebook. For some reason, I don't get the notifications for like a day or two. And I don't want you waiting that long. I always answer email within 24 hours. So also right now I'm booking about a week out. So by the time you contact me and I respond, it's usually about 5 to 7 days to get your reading. Okay. So the new service I have is called Soul Medicine. So it is the soul spread plus 5 custom channeled affirmations that are based on what your soul needs to kind of process the information that came out in the spread and move out of blocks, as well as a candle inscribed and lit with the intention to clear your field of all energy that is not yours. Okay, we're all very porous and we tend to take in a lot of people's energy, even if we do cleansings regularly on ourselves. So the intention of this candle, it's a white candle. I light it after I do your reading with the intention to clear your field of any energy that is not yours and send it back to source or send it back to its source with love, okay? And that service is $55. All right, so if you're interested in that, please email me and I will send you a PayPal link and let's get into these readings. Scorpio, I am feeling tension and stiffness in your body. I don't think that you're like necessarily not making any moves or whatever. However, I do feel as though you are paralyzed in some regard. So maybe you're out in the real world making moves and doing things or whatever, but internally you're paralyzed. So that tells me that the moves you're making are not in alignment fully with where you're headed. You've kind of come to some type of stall internally. The message I got before that, the word, I had forgot it for a second, was self-preservation. Okay. Now, we know that self-preservation is a form of a block, right? That's because you made it yourself doesn't mean it's not a block. It's a block. So what is it that you're trying to block out of your reality? Instead of acknowledging it and acknowledging what you can do for yourself to shift that. Okay? Because I'm getting a lot of stiffness, a lot of like rigidity, not wanting to budge. But again, it doesn't feel as though it's out of stubbornness as much as it feels out of fear of not wanting to change things, of not wanting to see other perspectives. It's not really a matter of who's right and who's wrong at all. It's really just you froze. And when we hold ourselves back in some capacity, like, you know, the universe is going to have to expose that to us. And the more we refuse to see it, the more aggressive the signs become, okay? So let's see what it is that you are so resistant to. Okay? All right, I don't shuffle for reversals. However, this card flew out and it landed upside down. And I found it appropriate to take it upside down. Now, there's a theme right now, because it's Cancer season, there's a lot of energy in Cancer, to really look into our roots in our past, in the past beyond our existence, but not only in our family's ancestral past, but also like our past lives. and really coming to terms with what we want from our family, with our family, for our own family, where we see ourselves in the long future. And I don't know if you're either resisting this, Scorpio. Some of you may be resisting creating this kind of family, or having issues with your family where you're just disinterested in what anything they have to offer to rectify. There's this idea here of like, I think it is available to you. I think you could have that perfect family, or that very stable, like, everyone comes together around the Thanksgiving table type of deal. You know what I mean? Like 30 people are around the table, very cozy and connected and whatever. I do believe it's there for you, but you're resistant to how it's manifested currently in your life. So what your family scenario looks like currently in your life, Scorpio, I think you find it very daunting. And you've frozen yourself with where you're at right now. Okay? Because the Four of Cups is a resistant card. It talks about just being content with how things have been and not wanting to find out what more the universe could have for us. So this could be the thing of like, you're an adult, but you still feel the pressure to listen to your parents and please them. And you can be out the house and married, you know what I mean, and still do things to please your parents. Like, you could be 60 and still be doing things to please your parents who are passed away. It doesn't matter. But there's a need, I feel, to redefine what family means to you and how you want to have a family of your own. Like if you could build your own ideal family, Scorpio, okay, what would that look like? And then look within how you've been feeling, right? Look within yourself and see where you have been resistant to change. This is an emotional change. This is a new emotional offer, right? It's a lot of times this talks about apathy or boredom, but I don't think it's that. I think it's more of just like you have never known different. And you're resigned to the fact of like that you maybe had it wrong, or that you're going to have to reassess these values because they were instilled in you by people that you admire. And you can still admire your parents and not want to live a life that they lived. You know what I mean? That's fine. But those are the kind of conversations I think you need to have with yourself this month. Hey, Scorpio. So, listen. The Ten of Pentacles came up on the bottom of the deck a few times when I was pulling these cards. And overall, I think you're emotionally walking away from a future that you projected. From a place of, I want to say, blind love. And that's not to say like you were wrong for that. You know what I mean? Like we all have times in our life that we need to kind of get reality checked in some capacity. But there is a message here overall, and this feels familial to me more than anything. Like, if you're married, it'll still apply, but I feel like this is more of, like, your blood family, or, again, if you're married, like, the family you married into, things like that. Like, the full family structure. Whatever you identify with as family. I feel like this is where it's applicable. There's a need, well, rather, there's an opportunity for you to successfully assess where you're headed and change gears. I highly suggest that. Because right now, this is the position for what door is now open for you spiritually, right? What door Spirit has opened for you. And you have the Two of Wands with the Tower and the rune Victory. So now, this is telling me, like, if you want to be victorious, you need to wake up to the direction that you're headed in. You need to wake up to what it is you're planning, right? What it is you're hoping to go towards in the future. Because overall, we have the Three of Wands. So what you're focused on, again, that card's been coming up for a lot of signs, is long-term progress, right? The long game. But first you need to look at like where you've been, what has motivated you up until this point, and where you're headed. Because there's something there that's not quite in alignment. And it potentially could be because, you know, you were expecting someone to have a change of heart. You were hoping for someone to, like, you know, love as deeply as you did without necessarily you asking them. Because there's no swords here, really, except, you know, these two cards. But that's not tied to this message. Because you have the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, right? With the rune future as what Spirit is asking you to release. So this to me feels like a couple things. It feels like don't expect people to forgive or forget, in that, you know, they'll offer you a new cup and everything will be fine in the near future. Because one, if you're not willing to forgive and forget, other people physically cannot. Like you know what I mean? You're not on the same plane. You're not on the same vibe in that regard. And we can't create a future or our own personal moves or whatever on other people. Or rather, especially on other people in a silent way. Like, because I don't see you having a conversation telling people like, no, I need this, 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 and this. This feels like, you know what? Because there's so much love here, right? Or because there's so much loyalty here, or because I have invested so much here, I know that things can and will get better in the future. And it's not that things don't or won't get better, but who they get better with, the only person that's guaranteed on is you. You getting better with you, period. That's all we can guarantee when you make that kind of declaration. So it's important for you to not be making plans based on other people's expectations or your expectations of other people in your life. I think this goes vice versa for all of you. Because again, the door that's open for you that was once closed is the Two of Wands with the Tower. And the Tower is clarifying it. So the Two of Wands talks about vision and figuring out where you're going to go next. That really suits, he's holding the world, that really suits your broad ideals and the things that you really want out of life. And it's almost saying with the Victory rune here, like you're going to be surprised at what it's going to take to make that specific dream happen, especially if you're banking on someone forgiving or practicing forgiveness or practicing empathy. Having a change of heart. Make sure you're making your plans based on you and your truth, Scorpio. That's essential. Now, if you're out there speaking your truth to these people, whether it be, I was feeling a mother vibe over here. Okay. Obviously, definitely could be your partner because there's a pair here. There's a pair of people here and there's a single person here. But I feel like this is you, Scorpio, as the Queen of Swords. I think you're being very, I don't want to say bitchy, but you're being very, like, cut and dry. I think you're done with everybody's bullshit, but you also have to recognize that you've been putting out some bullshit, too. Because if people are constantly coming to you with the bullshit, and you're constantly bitching that all you get is bullshit, well, then guess what, my friend? You're in a complaining mentality. When you complain, you attract things to complain about. That's law. Period. Because your current energy for July, in your head, you have the Death card, your card, with the Six of Pentacles, which to me is feeling like you mentally recognizing that there needs to be a shift in how you wield power and how people wield power over you, where your boundaries are, where you're giving away your time and energy and efforts to things that are dead also, right? And how you need to transform the way you share yourself with other people. And also, again, this talks about expectations as well. And needing to transform what you expect from others and what others expect from you. How can you reframe and revitalize the way that you deal with other people, especially those people in your family, especially those people that you're committed to, because in your heart space, you have the rune marriage with the Hermit. Okay, I don't feel like this is a Virgo energy. I feel like, Scorpio, you need to commit to looking deep within your heart and getting right with yourself. And I almost feel like all the videos I'm doing for July are almost the same, because this Cancer energy really is all making us dig deep and look into our family issues and look into, you know, these silent beliefs that we've held for, you know, years, decades, eons, you know, and you need to commit to really digging deep and finding out what your truth is. Because I'm feeling like, for the most part, it's like the life that you've been living, a part of it, like not all of it, I'm not saying you're out here living phony, but there's a part of it that has been unconsciously, like very unconsciously motivated by things that you have never even looked at, or maybe you only glanced at them once or twice in your life and then you knocked them away. You know, I'm talking about old stuff. Really old stuff. Because in your foundation, you have the Queen of Swords, so you're mentally prepared to take this deep dive and then cut through the excess, you know what I mean, and get to the clarity. But the clarity is not just going to come to you. You need to go seize it. You need to make a commitment to yourself. I'm feeling like this is finally a switch of, like, you've been externalizing your energy for months. Like, this person, like, not that you haven't been out there doing your thing, but still, at every turn, anytime you faced resistance or whatever, you took the opportunity to be like, oh, this person sucks, this person's in my way, this person, blah, 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 this person, this person, this person. I think you've had a lot of external things to say, right? There's been a lot of other people involved in your motives, in your plans, in the moves that you've made, and the time has come for that to end. Because it's kind of like you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video, when I was laying the cards, when I finished laying the cards, the Cher song, If You Could Turn Back Time, if I could turn back time or whatever, came to my head. So do that with what you will. So you really need to get down to business, basically. Take all that obsession, take all that desire to manipulate and want everyone to bend to how you are, and instead use that power on yourself. You know you are powerful and a catalyst. Catalyze your own life. We cannot change people. But when we change ourselves, we automatically have a ripple effect and change the world around us. But then again, whether or not those specific people that are currently in our reality shift is not our job, nor can it be projected by us. Spirit's advice for you this month is the Four of Swords, clarified by the Queen of Wands. And the runes here we have are success and journey. So I just put those together and think successful journey. So in order to have a successful journey, you need to take a big pause. Four of Swords, right? Meditative. These are, the Hermit and the Four of Swords are very one in a, you know, two peas in a pod type of deal. And I'm feeling like for some of you, this is your mom, the Queen of Wands, or a fire sign woman. Okay? Someone that, not that Scorpio, you're totally strong. You're very strong. But I feel like this is someone who comes in and, like, lights your fire in a bad way. And you need to take a rest from her or him. Like a mental rest. Like they've been feeding, I feel like they've been feeding into your mentality for a long time. And you just need to take time to sort out what is yours and what is theirs. What aligns with you that they taught you and what doesn't. Also, I'm seeing this as a need to focus on your journey to success as a creative, independent person. A person that understands and is motivated by their own inner drive and their own passions, right? Not the ones of others. It's the same thing here. Because it's onward and upward, baby. So you want to know what it is that you're hoping for. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we want something so bad, like let's say we want to buy a house and we want to just, like, you know, have that pinnacle reached just because. because it's been ingrained in us that that's success, right? When you own your own home. So you may start to take, you know, like shortcuts, so to speak, to achieve that, because you want to have that status level, because you need it, because you feel like you're inadequate in some capacity. But that could drive you to, you know, take out a loan that you don't really afford, you know, you can barely afford, or buy a house in an area that you don't really love just because you can afford it and you want it to have that status mark. You know what I mean? So there's a need to, again, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Make sure that the direction that you're headed is completely 120% in alignment with your core truth. This is wisdom that the Hermit is journeying for in your heart. A deep emotional truth. Come to terms with yourself. Because in the outcome, we have the Two of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So again, I think this is the same. Like, I gave you two messages. One if it was another person, and then if it was your own facet. And I think the same of those apply here, in the sense that it could be an aspect of yourself or an external person. You have the rune Strength. So I think it's you also realizing that you have the strength to meet this person halfway and find a balance, whether this is a mother figure or not, you know, but they're looking eye to eye. I definitely think that in some regard, one of these people is you, and your desire to be your own independent person and your own independent driving force and making your own decisions and really creating your own life, right? But there's other people you need to consider. Again, I'm feeling like it's family, mother or father type of thing. But you do have the strength to find balance. It's like you do not need to feel defeated in this. Again, the only way you're going to be continuously challenged on how to find a balance between what you desire and what your world looks like, right? Because you have to strike that balance yourself through internal reflection. So you have the strength to do so. But again, the only person that can stop you is you. You cannot blame people for how things pan out 3 to 6 months from now if you are not acknowledging the truth of your heart and being objective about what you find there. This is not the time to be like running off potential or maybes or anything like that. Again, if you have expectations for another person, you need to speak those expectations so that everybody's on the same page. And when you speak those expectations, or you speak those feelings, you speak those truths that you have about those people, you can't then automatically assume that they're going to respond in a way that you want them to. Not saying that they won't, but we just can't control that. Okay? We speak our truth because it's necessary and because it frees us, because it's true, not because then it will make everyone bend and my life will be perfect. You know what I mean? But let me get you guys an affirmation card. This energy is a little heavy, Scorpio, but it's like I can feel that you're like fed up. But the only thing that's going to make you feel better is you. Like you need to fix this for yourself. No one's going to fix this for you. It's like time to put your big boy pants on, you know, big girl pants on type of thing. Like no more Pampers. We got to go to regular, regular undies, guys. I know that seems so silly. I'm serious. Like no matter how old you are, I guarantee there's some type of ideal that you're living that is based on your parents. And that's what's playing out right now, for sure. Your affirmation is, ideas come to me easily and effortlessly. I release all resistance to expressing my creativity fully. Exactly. Once you release resistance to your own creativity, that means you'll also be able to have the people around you and just from your own being flow creative solutions to these supposed problems. Because the problem is only a situation that we don't like that we continue to fixate on. If we shift our attention and go into a good feeling place, answers come to us very clearly. And usually it's like you realize it doesn't even matter. This is coming from a double Virgo, where everything is real. And you guys know I have a Scorpio moon. You guys know. So I know we feel things at a level that other people just cannot comprehend. However, you have to let all of that solar plexus juice flow. That's what creativity is about too. And there's not a lot of, there's no yellow here really, but the energy that's available right now can really strengthen boundaries. And the solar plexus, Six of Pentacles, talks about boundaries here. So I highly suggest, if you're going to do any type of meditation, to do it surrounding the solar plexus and personal empowerment and cleansing and healing, because that rules digestion and all that kind of stuff down there, as well as like our repressed fears, especially around feeling worthy, and how our self-esteem is, right? Because when we're working from a place of pleasing others, then we have low self-esteem. I know it's a little bit of a confusing time, Scorpio, but it really is going to be okay. It truly, truly is, okay? I love you guys, and I will see you soon for the July love readings. I appreciate and I hope this message resonates with you. Peace.